Well, we know that underage drinking is one of the problems facing our youth and has been doing so for a number of years now. And that is why the work that Aware.org does is so important. They've recently launched a new campaign to tackle irresponsible drinking, and Sulu was at the launch to find out more.
It's no secret that underage drinking has been on the rise in South Africa, as stats show that people who start drinking before the age of 18 are more likely to develop alcohol dependence as opposed to those who have their first drink over the age of 21. And that is exactly why Aware.org have decided to shine a spotlight on responsible drinking with their brand new campaign. Ingrid, for those of us who aren't familiar with Aware.org, what kind of work do you do?
So Aware.org is the industry association established by the alcohol industry in South Africa. We represent the producers, the manufacturers, we represent distributors of alcohol, and then all the big retailers of alcohol. We get our mandate from them, and the mandate is pretty clear. It's to address the high levels of alcohol abuse and misuse in the country.
Just how serious is underage drinking and alcohol abuse in our country?
Well, you know, we run targeted program interventions on the ground. We're piloting programs right now. The research is telling us that kids are starting to drink from as early as the age of 10. The research is telling us that they probably going to be drinking every other weekend. So we know that there's an upward trend.
If ever there was an effective way of getting this message across, it has to be making use of well-known personalities, as they are relatable to young people and will help spread the message. And that's exactly what Aware.org have done. Kabelo, as a public figure, why is it important for you to rally behind a campaign like this?
It's important for me to rally behind a cause like this because, you know, to whom much is being given, much is required, first of all. I have a personal story with struggling with alcohol, and I understand all too much putting out messaging out there that makes people aware what happens, you know, when abuse occurs.
So on the one hand, we have the targeted program interventions that we run on the ground. We work in communities to address it. We create content for the curriculum, the LO curriculum. But we said we also need to educate South Africans about the fact that 18 is the legal drinking age. And actually, if you're giving a child under the age of 18 access to alcohol or serving them alcohol, you're committing an illegal act.
You can't be making money and be proud of making money selling alcohol to young people who are supposed to be going to school.
This campaign, like I said earlier, is holding up a mirror to ourselves as a country and shows us how we act and behave around alcohol, especially around young ones. But this campaign is not pontificating and saying, don't drink. We're saying, think differently. How are you behaving around alcohol, especially around minors?
What advice do you have for young people, especially those who haven't started experimenting with alcohol yet?
It's not worth it. Young people must appreciate that they've got a long future in front of them. Young people must also realize that in order for them to prepare their future so that they become the presidents of the future, they become the ministers of the future, they become the owners of the economy, they will not be able to do that if they start engaging with things that are not going to help them grow, both physically, mentally, and even health-wise.
You touched on it briefly, but can you expand on what are your objectives through this project?
We want to put it on the national agenda. We want South Africans talking about it. We want South Africans looking, reflecting, and saying, how am I doing it? And then start making the right choices. If you're over the age of 18, then you're legal. But our message is still very circumspect. We say, drink responsibly. We're not saying alcohol is the problem. We're saying it's how you consume it that's the problem.
One thing I love about this campaign is just how relatable it is to the people that it's geared towards without being too preachy. Kudos to Aware.org for all the hard work they're doing in making sure that our young people stay on the right track.